I said I give you your voice. You see, look at that. You see, another one, they say recording in progress. Don't be me do this one, no.
I knew we could do them.
Okay.
Maybe they record us, they even tell us, hey, they record us.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, I don't know.
I will start recording right now. Are you guys okay with me recording? I already started.
After you don't
group
start.
Group of how many team of how many numbers? Only 19 people there for this thing. Hey, I'll be 13 people. Jesus Christ.
You don't see how many people are ready. How many people are ready with the election? So, thank you, Buchi. Thank you, Kingsley, for affording us the ability. I beg, please, everybody, please, let's respect.
You can actually mute all of us, Mimi. Just mute all of us at your need.
That's what I've been fighting with, technical difficulties right here. Trying to get that mute. They give me this option with this Zoom work here right here.
So you see, there is this MTN line.
I beg, everybody mute. Hold on.
Good evening, everyone. You all know me. My name is Buchi, current PRO Invincible Eagles. It's a pleasure to run for president. I hope to win. I'm running because I've been the PRO for the past 2 years. I've been a part of this team for the past 5 years since the team started. And it has been a great opportunity to be with you guys. You guys are some of the best friends I've had in this city. And we've had our ups and downs together, but a lot more ups than downs. I believe in this team. I believe in you guys. I believe that we have been doing well, but we can do better. And so I want us to continue to do better. I want us to do good. And that's why I'm running. I believe in work. I believe in not letting things, not letting people do things that I believe I can do. Now, I'm not trying to say that I am the only one that can do it. I just believe that I am the best person for the job. And so for that reason, I think it would be letting my responsibility go, not to step up to the plate. And I am ready to work. I am ready to serve. I dropped a 7-point agenda. I will elaborate on that agenda later on in the debate, but I am here to plead for your votes. And I want you guys to trust me like you have trusted me for the past 2 years. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And for people that just joined, Akbaka, Murata, please, right now we're having issues with muting everybody. Everybody has decided to, mute themselves. So Akbaka and Murata, please mute, if you can mute yourself. I really appreciate you guys will have the opportunity to ask your questions. Thank you very much, Buchi. Kingsley, you have the floor. You have 1 minute, 30 seconds. Can you give us your opening remarks?
Good evening, all. My name is Kingsley Ibokwe from Nigeria, Imo State. I've been a part and parcel of Invincible Eagles right from the onset. And I've worked on the ground. I've worked with the past leaders, but I've never been an ESCO, but I've always been an active member on and off the pitch. And I want you to give me your vote, and I will be a very good president because I've served. And for you to be a good leader, you must first of all be a good servant. And I love football, and this is what it is. Football is the football that we actually brought us together, and that is what we are looking forward to keep us together. And I've always been so nice to you guys, and you guys have been so nice to me. And we have had a lot of fun together, and I want it to continue. There are so many things I need to restructure from what we have been doing in Invincible Eagles, which I'm going to point out to you guys in this debate. And first and foremost, I'm saying thank you for every one of you that have joined this debate. And I said, trust me, I will deliver, because I have never failed, and I won't start today from failing. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Kingsley. Thank you very much, Buchi. The first question, since Buchi started, I'll start with Kingsley. This is a question that was sent. Past administrations, CJ in 2018, we had that election where CJ came on board. CJ ran is 2 years, and now Chima ran is 2 years. What, Kingsley, if you have 3 minutes, sorry, tell us things that you would do different from the past administration for Invincible Eagles. You're 3 minutes now.
All right, thank you very much. CJ did a very good job. That was the first kickoff, bringing us together, and he did a good job. We won a lot of medals during his time. Then Chima took over. They were all unopposed, and Chima took over from CJ, and we won some medals. We didn't win all, but we won a lot of medals. So what I'm bringing in now is the unity. From the past administration, we had a whole lot of divided people not being happy. It is bound to happen, And during all this time, I've always been the peacemaker. I've always put Invincible Eagles up front. I've never relented. I've never supported anybody. I've always supported the club. So what I'm saying, that the club comes first before any individual, be you president, be you anybody. We're going to keep the club first. So I'm bringing unity. I'm bringing synergy. I'm bringing friendship. I'm bringing love. I'm bringing football. I'm bringing future. I'm bringing finance. I'm bringing all these things. I call my point agenda the 5F: football, friendship, finance, fun, and future. So I'm going to elaborate it as the show goes on. So what I need to do now is the whole team, we got to come together and know that it is not always going to be football. We're going to find a way to fashion out, to make friendship after football, then football after friendship. I know we're going to have some ups and downs, but my presidency is bringing love, because if you look at it, we are in America, we are not in Nigeria. First and foremost, football brought us together because we didn't know ourselves. Football brought us together. So if football has to keep us together, the friendship needs to go on. So I'm going to give everybody equal opportunity and right to air his or her view. And every decision we are going to make as a team must be deliberated on. Majority carries the vote. It's not going to be, it is me or I. I don't want to do the I thing or me thing. I'm going to do the team, whereby every issue must be tackled as a team. If we are losing, we lose as a team. If we are winning, we win as a team. And for those of us that somehow feel like they are not being included in the whole issue, so I'm going to find a way to reach out to each and every one, and also open a platform where we can have good and committed member. How will I do this? I need to sell Invincible Eagles to them.
Thank you very much, Kingsley. Unfortunately, you're out of time. Buchi, same question. Do you want me to repeat the question for you, or you have?
Yes, please, for clarity, please.
Okay, so for clarity, thank you. In 2018, the team elected CJ as president. CJ did his term for 1 term. In 2020, Chima took over. Right now, this is 2022. A new election is coming in place. What would you do differently than the old administration? What should the team be looking at for you to do differently?
You don't build in, you don't build a road before you cut the grass. Like my friend once told me, when you're walking on the paths today, you should always remember those that cut the grass and the trees before the path was made. So before I start talking of doing different, what I'll do different, I have to give kudos and commendation to the guys that built the club up to this stage. If they had not been doing a good job, or if they had not been there to do the job, there would not be a club for me to try and take over and build on. So being different is just going to be a little changes on what they've done in the past. The good work they've done, I will continue it. And the little differences I will make is to try to be a little bit more of a listening ear, be open. It's actually a great thing that there's going to be a vice president position, because that gives the opportunity for the president to be more of a listener, a unifier. With the expanded ESCO, it would give me an opportunity to share what I would call work. What happened in the past 4 years that I noted was that the president was a one-man army. A lot of times from CJ to Chima, it was one person doing a lot of work, one person doing a lot of work. I don't think it's tenable in the long run. I don't think it's great for a team or for any organization to have one person carrying the load. And what I mean carrying the load is, in decision making, in taking actions, in doing stuff. You want to have a little bit more of power delegated and duties delegated and things, people able to participate and do more. That way, it is not centralized to the president alone. I see myself, if I'm a president, as just someone who is there to organize, bring the football, the administrative part and everything together, even the extracurricular activities, everything, bring them together, try and heal where it's broken. So that is the main difference. The main difference of what I will do in the next 2 years is that I promise not to be the president, the financial secretary, the PRO, all at once. I will not do that. That is the first thing. Two is I will not take any executive decisions unless it is necessary. I will do my best to make sure that the team buys into anything, and I will not do what the team does not want me to do. For example, if the team is unable to or does not want to go for a tournament, I'm not going to push the team into a tournament. That's just an example. We
Thank,
will,
thank you, Buchi.
you're
Your,
welcome.
your 3 minutes is up. Thank you very much, guys, for answering that question. Buchi, you will be next to answer the question. The next question is for you, Buchi, and Kingsley, you will be next. Right now, every candidate, I do understand you talked about the team has to take every decision. Every candidate has their policy, has their ideology, what you're bringing in, right? So in terms of what will be the direction of the team from your perspective when it comes to tournaments like SLN and the national yearly tournament that we go to? Last year we went to Atlanta. This year we went to Austin. SLN, we have been four-time champions. What will be your policy statement for your government? What would you be pursuing, Buchi?
My policy statement regarding those tournaments is that we went to 2 tournaments and came back, and one of them almost broke the team into pieces. The second one, it looked like a lot of people were happy to go, but a lot were also not happy to go. And so my policy regarding tournaments outside Houston is simply, does the team want to go? I do not want to answer that question on my own. Do I personally want to go to tournaments? I've been to all the tournaments we've gone to outside Houston, and I've enjoyed the experience. However, I want to be a president where a lot more people participate in these tournaments. A lot more people go, not just to play, because I never played in those tournaments, but I actually enjoyed being there. So the idea is to be able to carry people along. And if the team as a whole is not buying into going outside Houston or going to faraway tournaments, I will not go. I will not push the team to go. But personally, I want to go. Personally, I believe the team should go. It is a great experience for everyone. We are in America. It is a beautiful country. I've been blessed to have traveled to a lot of states. I've driven through a lot of states. I drove once from the north across all the way to the southwest. And so I believe the more you travel to other parts of this country, the more you appreciate it. So I want the team to go because I believe everyone that goes will come back and have a wonderful experience. So in order to do that, though, we would need funds. And that now ties into the other part of what I hope to do, which is to work hard to get sponsors so that we do not have a situation where finances are crippling us, because going to tournaments is a matter of finances. That is just a simple truth. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Buchi, for answering the question. Kingsley, do you want me to repeat the question for you?
No, I got it.
Okay.
All right. For the tournament, let me start with this. First and foremost, you shouldn't mix it. Invincible Eagles is a football team to start with. That's what it is. No matter what anybody thinks, it's a football team. We are here to play football and make friendship. So the tournament consists of playing football. We just have to go. What we need to do is just early planning. So for us to be relevant as an organization of a football team, we have to participate in every tournament. That is how I put it. Except we are doing something different, but we are not doing anything. We are not like a company that is manufacturing Coca-Cola bottle, or we're not an organization that is an NGO that is doing solidarity. We are playing football. So this tournament is all about football, and that is it. So when we go into it, we make fun for ourselves. So like my Buchi said, raising fund. Yeah, we know, but we need to start earlier. So my stand as a president is this: the SLM, we're going to compete. The national tournament, we're going to compete. That is why we are Invincible Eagles. That is what we are known for. That is why we are even popular. If we don't do this thing, we're going to fade away in a twinkle of an eye. Trust me, we have to go there. Going there, participating, playing gives us exposure, make us meet new people, gives us fresh idea, and keeps this club running, because it is called a football team from the first thing go. Thank you.
Thank you very much. He didn't finish in 30 seconds, but you do want to have a rebuttal to what he said, any point he made.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to add quickly that we are a football team, but we are not a football team without the players, without the team members. That is very, very important. And why that is important is to note that a football team that plays local football tournament is also a football team. A football team that plays national football tournament is a football team. The most important thing is, what does the majority of the team want to do? I remember this conversation I had with someone, and this will be quick, but the person asked me a question and he said, when did we decide to start playing in international tournaments? I remember that because some people in this team, whether we want to admit it or not, are feeling left out. So if we are going to go to national tournaments, we cannot compete with the players we have now. We have to recruit extra members, and there are a lot of things we have to do. Without the people in the team buying into that idea, we are basically trying to drag a dead horse.
Thank you, Buchi. That's past 30 seconds. You went past that. But basically, Buchi, for clarification purposes, if I'm understanding you, your policy or the first thing that you would want is a situation where the team decides. Everything has to go with the team, right? And the team has to make that decision. And with Kingsley, your policy is we will be, as part of a football team, we have to participate in this tournament to be relevant. So I think the audience gets that. The next question is for you, Kingsley. A member of the team asked this question, send this question in. And the question is, how would you, as president, we've seen players come, we've seen players go. There's some players that are core of the team. There's some players we've gotten. How would you, in regards to acquiring and maintaining players, how would you get new players, fresh ideas, fresh players to Invincible Eagles?
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, you have 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes, please.
Okay, how do I acquire and maintain players? First of all, to acquire players, we have to play in a tournament so that people can see you play and love to join you. You can't just go about and say, hey, I want you to come play for me, and when we are not into activities. If you watch the players like Ororo that joined us, they saw us won the cup and they joined us. So many people heard our name and saw us playing and winning, and they got attracted. So when we stop doing this thing, people are going to stop coming. People won't be attracted to us anymore. So first and foremost, we got to put in the work. Competition. We have to play. We have to play. We have to be engaged. So while we were playing, we now tell them, hey, while we were playing, we're going to see other opponents' team that likes what we were doing, or other viewers that came to watch that likes what we're doing. We got to be out in the field to get these people. We can't just sit down and say, okay, let's do just training and say, and call people, come and train with us. They're going to come train and they will leave. But if we're engaged in football activities, they will come. So how do we retain them? Love, when we respect ourselves and show ourselves love and help them individually. Let me say this. There's 3 people in Invincible Eagles. They are young boys. I gave them job because I got the connection. They met me and I gave them job. That is retaining them. So if I ask them for anything as a friend and as a brother and as a teammate, they will actually oblige because I listen to their personal life, not only their football life. So if we engage in these young ones one-on-one, when we bring them closer, we engage them one-on-one, know their little problem that we can solve that is keeping them. So while we were doing that, they will go out there to sing our praises to attract other young men. But first and foremost, we got to engage in activities first. So when they come, we retain them with love. And when they come, we show them that we are peaceful people and we have a future, and the future is their own. That is how I see the growth of this club.
Thank you very much, Kingsley. You were spot on 2 minutes. Buchi, do you want me to repeat the question? Or you got
No, I got you. I got it. Regarding retaining players, Kingsley made a very good point there. I don't think there's much to add to that except to say retaining players is hard work. It's not the work of one person. It's a community job. We haven't had too much problem with retaining players. The problem we have had is that people have been able to steal some of our good players, because we all know the truth. When you're a star player in Houston, if you're going to SLN, local tournaments, you can keep some players because there are a lot of good players, a lot of good teams in Houston that play multiple competitions. So some players come to our team because they're not happy, they're not getting playing time in their teams. They come and play with us. They like some of our good players, our star players, they want to play with them. So that part, like I kept saying, is that if you are playing in Houston, you're still a football team. Where you now have a problem with retaining players is when you want to go outside of Houston, when the Sharks come. How are the Sharks going to come? We have had players that we have invested so much time and effort in the past and still lost them because it's very hard for players sometimes to resist money. That is the truth. And where we all have to work on is maybe as a team, we have to all develop. It's not maybe, this is what we have to do. It's not a maybe. We have to develop a culture of fostering people that come to us, welcoming people, being patient. There are times people come to play with us. One time we watch them and some people say nasty things to them and they walk away. And some of them, we end up seeing that they are very good players.
Buchi,
so that is, I believe, is a team job. I believe all of us have to come together and keep players.
Buchi, you're past your time. First of all, again, thank you to the guests. Thank you to the audience, keeping quiet and muting. I really do appreciate. We've come to the segment where a guest, a teammate can raise their hands up on the chat. No talking. Raise your hands up if you want to ask any of the candidates question. If we have any questions from the house, or else, we could go on with the questions that I have here. Anybody want to ask a question? I see Obi. Obi, go ahead. Please, the question, you have 90 seconds to answer. Obi, go ahead.
So I actually noticed that when we went to Atlanta, some people complained that they were not getting play time. And that thing caused a very, very big issue in the team. So my question to you is, when some players go, maybe we feel they are not good enough to help us win because the goal is to win. How will your leadership include them to ensure that we go there and try to win while keeping members of the team as happy as you can?
Okay, I believe I'm going first, right? Am I going first, Nimi?
Hold on. We're going to take the last question from somebody so we don't have to go back and forth and you could answer. I see Zued Z. Z, go ahead.
Okay, sure. So, Nimi, if I believe the question goes to both of them?
That's
Yes,
right.
You could, no. You could direct your question to any candidate that you feel it's your question. These two people want to run for the highest position. So you could direct your question to anybody. You could direct it to both candidates. Up to you.
Okay. So let me this question I'll address it to Kingsley. So Kingsley talked about 5F. He talked about football, friendship, finance, future, and fun. So the question is this: I believe we all understand Invincible Eagles is a diverse team made up of several nationalities, and also trying to bring unity to the team through football and retaining young people. Like you talked already about how you want to retain young people. So I'd like you to actually tell the team how you want to build the team based on young people, because I believe now the team is already, if we look at the team gradually, it's aging out. And also, so that's a question for you. And also, my question is to Buchi. This second question. So Buchi, we talked about, I believe the goal of Invincible Eagles is playing football. And we need these competitions to showcase ourselves. So what are you running for president? What's your vision? Like, what's your vision for the team, especially when it comes to competition? And what are you going to bring to the table that you think is going to bring more unity? Because you met, I believe one thing our team is lacking is unity, because it's more diverse if we look at it. And also bringing people, not only recruiting players when it comes to tournaments, but also having a team full of youngsters that we know at the end of competitions, we will still have these people.
Thank you, Z. I think I got the meat of your question to both candidates. The last question from Chidi. Chidi, go ahead.
Am I audible?
Yeah, go ahead, Chidi. Okay,
all right, thank you, Nimi. Thank you, Buchi. Thank you, Kingsley. And thank you for everyone that tuned in. First of all, I would like to say this is a very great initiative, and I'm looking to really emulate and replicate this process in every organization I'm part of. This is a great initiative, like I said. And my question goes to Buchi. And Buchi, my only reason I'm asking this question, not because I want to attack you personally, but because you shared a live document and you also said something that actually touched me. And please don't take this personal the wrong way, please.
That's okay.
Yeah, so my first question is, when you say your approach would be like a team approach, the team has to have a say in everything or every decision making that you try to, partake in. So can you really share more light on that? Do you really plan to get a vote in every decision that you plan to take as a team president? Or do you pick and choose like more people that you trust that you could listen to and, consult and, go with those people's advice? And my second question is about the finances, right? On part of the 7 bullets agenda that you did posted on the forum. And the second one was actually what caught my eyes, when you say you have a plan to change the financial structure of the team to improve financial stability, can you really explain more on how you plan to achieve this? And all ears are yours. Thank you, Nimi, for the opportunity.
Okay. All right. These are loaded questions.
Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
I have all the questions, and and you guys, there are more people that want to ask questions. If you have questions, so we'll make sure we are taking all these questions. You have at least a minute 30 seconds to answer all these questions. So the first question from Obi was, he had a situation in Atlanta where playing time for people were issues. And when they came over, they came over from Atlanta, it caused issues where people were like, I didn't have playing time. How do you address that situation? So I'll start with Buchi. You could go forward first.
Okay. I was blessed to be in Atlanta. We played 3 games. In the first game, a lot of our players were so eager to play. They were putting pressure on the coaches, and a lot of them played in that game. By the second game, a lot more of some of the outside players were brought in, outside hands, played that game. And when we got to the third game, Saros had gotten injured. A lot of the outside hands were tired. And I remember we were telling players to warm up, and I can remember very well, one of our players said, this competition passes us. And I remember how some of our players looked legged and not too good in that competition. Now, I raised that point because there is a difference between playing football for fun and playing football to win. When players came back from Atlanta and were complaining about not having playing time, I read it as some of them were just looking for something to complain, if I'm being honest, because these were some players, some of the players that didn't have playing time refused to play, refused to warm up for the third game. Kingsley was there. He would bear witness to that because he was there. He saw what happened as well. Nimi, you were there. So why I mentioned that is it was the same kind of stuff that now happened later on when we were going to go to Austin and we were talking about a team. We had to make a choice between going there to just participate and get a participation trophy or trying to go there and do ourselves real justice. So if a player isn't part of the team and wants to play a lot of games, that's why we'll have to play local tournaments, SLN, where we have a league system. There's a lot of games and people can play. But if we're going to a tournament where some of the best players, African players in the country are playing in a short time, you're trying to win all the games, trying to do it quickly, we have to be very honest before we get out of Houston, even if the tournament is being hosted in Houston, before we get to that tournament and screen out the players who are going to play in the main team, like we did in Austin. We went to Austin and came back and people were happy because there was a good performance. So that's how you're going to do it regarding playing time. Thank you.
Thank you. Kingsley, same question. Do you want me to repeat the question?
No, I got the question. Nimi, for time frame, can we have like a time for answering the question, or we just go on and on?
No, you have, before I start, I think you have 1 minute.
Okay, 1 minute. Okay.
1 minute, 30 seconds. So
okay.
Once the time is up, I have a timer right now. Once it's up, you have to go through with the time. So every candidate has time to answer the same time frame. So nobody is having more time than the other person.
Okay, Atlanta. I think Atlanta is a great experience. This is the first time we are leaving Houston. And we can't just get it right the first time. Trust me. I've been into this football thing for a long time, all the way from Lagos to my university days. When you're going to a new competition that is higher than you can't get it right. We learned, we went, we saw. We couldn't conquer, but we learned. So that was a learning process. And I love the experience. I love the whole trouble. I love the whole peace. That is a growth. Okay, so people shouldn't feel bad about Atlanta. It gives us the wing and the experience to come back to Austin. All right. So Atlanta was not actually a total failure. It was an eye opener. So that's how I leave the Atlanta issue. So if people still refer us at Atlanta, no. Why didn't you refer us like Dallas? Why didn't you refer us to Austin? You know, we've passed that limit, past that stage right now. We are in the stage of where we went to Austin, where we went to Dallas. So Atlanta was a stepping stone. It wasn't all that failure because it was an experience. We are all used to SLM, and we went to national, and it hit us and we hit it back. So we did great. Okay, that's my own for Atlanta. So on going forward on the issue of going to national, we have to say the truth, right? We're going to compete, but even though we don't win, even if you watch the World Cup, not every good team is going to win. But the thing is, everybody needs to be carried along. That is one thing. When you carry somebody along in whatever you're doing, you're giving this person a sense of responsibility. That's how I see football. So we're going to participate.
Kingsley, your time is up. Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you, guys. Kingsley, the next question goes to you from Z. You talked about your 5F. The team is made up of diverse players from all over Africa, now part of Invincible Eagles. So he's asking, what are you going to do to bring unity to the team? How do you retain and build the team based on young people? Because based on what he's saying, the team is aging out.
Yeah.
So how are you going to bring young people into the team?
Okay, he talked about retaining young people because
He talked about retaining young people. He talked about the team being very diverse now with different countries of players. So how do you, with your 5F, how can you tie that up to this point you raised?
Okay, let me start by football. Football itself has no culture. Football has no tribe. Football has no language. Football has one language: playing and winning and losing together. That is the language of football. So when you kick the ball, you have no culture anymore. When you kick the ball, you have no tribe. Everybody becomes one because we are playing for one goal: to win. So that is it. So what I'm going to bring in is, this is it. For you to be relevant, we still need to compete. While we are playing all this competition, we're going to see players that want to join us, believe it or not. And when they come to join us, we got to show them the right path. We got to tell them what we are into. And most of them are going to be young players. So if we get any one good young players and we treat that players well, it's a multiplier agenda. It's like a networking. When you treat one good young player, he's going to bring another young player. The same thing, when you treat one good old player, he's going to bring in old player that is good. That is how football works. It's not magical. It has to treat somebody right, and he brings the next person. He tells your story. So while we were playing and winning, these people are going to come. So when they come, we're going to take them as family. So we now, from playing, it becomes a family. From family, it becomes friendship. So on and off the pitch, the football still goes on. That is how to retain people.
Thank you very much, Kingsley. Buchi, Z asked, the goal is to play football. What is your vision for competitions? I think you've answered that question. If you want to talk.
I haven't.
Okay.
I want to elaborate on that.
And let me finish the question.
Okay.
We lack unity. How do you unify the team? So you have a minute, 30 seconds. If you want me to repeat it, I could repeat it for you.
No, that's fine. I heard the question the first time. If you look at my 7-point agenda, my number 6 point is institute a planning committee for our major tournaments. why I'm doing that is because I believe if you don't plan, you plan to fail. So the first thing we're going to do, and if I am president, if you guys trust me and elect me as your president, is I will institute a committee that in the first month, by January, would have to give us a budget and a plan for going to Texas Challenge. We have to do that because Texas Challenge comes up very early in the year, around March, April. And then by the end of February or a few weeks into March, give us a plan and a budget for going to the NSF USA tournament. This would then give us a ballpark, an idea of what we need to do. And then this budget would now be presented to the team. If the team accepts this, of course, it will be presented to the ESCO first, but why we present to the team is because the team has to sponsor it. And if the team accepts this, then we now take the next step of executing the plan. I believe regarding unity, if you look at my plan where I said about developing the third point, developing extra football and social activities, the team is aging out. And part of the reason why a lot of people are so keen and worried about match time is because there is no fun. I'm not trying to insult anyone, but this is how America is. It's just work and hardly any play. So there's not too much fun in people's lives. And this Invincible Eagles seems to be one outlet for a lot of people. So we have to give people more outlets, do other things that will give people opportunity apart from Saturday or Sunday football without necessarily going to play games. That way, a lot of people who are not playing matches are having enough fun and are still able to come in and support the team. You cannot institute a team of young players and expect old people to put their hands in their pockets to sponsor them if these older people do not have a sense of belonging in this team.
Okay, Buchi,
that's my point.
Time is up. So the last question from Chidi was to you, Buchi, first. He's saying your approach is like a team approach. It's coming off like with every decision as a president, you have to ask the team in terms of team decision making. Can you shed more light on how you tend to get all votes in every decision? And then would you pick and choose a kitchen cabinet that would advise you? So it's a two-part question. First question is, for it seems like with your the way you sounded, every decision from the team as the president, you have to ask the team before you get to make any decision. And the second thing is, are you going to pick and choose a kitchen cabinet that would advise you?
He actually asked three questions. He's asked a question about the finances. So I'm going to need extra time for this question because it was three questions. He asked a question about finances, if I'm correct, because I wrote this question down.
Yeah, you have 2 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. Quickly, regarding decision making, when I said I was going to give every registered member say in decision making, it does not necessarily mean that every decision will be subject to what the House says. Discipline will not be subject to the House. Discipline is going to be according to what is written in our bylaws. We will maintain discipline. But regarding major financial undertakings, the team has to buy in. We have to come and hear what the team has to say. We cannot, for example, arbitrarily wake up and say we're going to, for example, Maryland next year, and every member should pay $500. We cannot just wake up and say that. We have to present, this is what we want to do. This is why we need this money. What do you guys think? When CJ was president, CJ was making a lot of decisions, but he would ask the team and explain, this is why I'm making the decision. A leader has to ask the people that gave him the vote sometimes for permission or explain to them what he is doing. But if not, they will lose faith in him. I will make my own decisions sometimes, and I will take responsibility for when they fail, because if they succeed, I would, of course, want to take the accolades. But on major decisions like traveling to far places, spending a lot of money, I will not just make decisions on the go. regarding if I would have people that I listen to, of course, everybody has people that he trusts and people that he's developed a relationship with. And I will remember we said the team is getting older. So there are these older people in the team that would also have major roles to play. A committee, for example, needs to have people that will manage. So this is where people would also be able to go in and do jobs. So of course, there are a few people that would be able to do extra work. There are people that have been here for the past 5 years and shown that they've been reliable and you can trust them to work. And then regarding the finances stuff, I plan to change the way payments are made. I plan to institute a monthly due. I plan to reduce the yearly registration fee so that it's more accessible to every member. I do not like the fact that a lot of members of the team did not register. We're about to have an election. And if you look at that list, there are a lot of people that are in that chat that are not fully registered members. This is wrong. What I would prefer is for people to be able to pay a smaller registration fee at the beginning of the year, and then we have a running due. Now, if you register and you disappear for 2 months and come back after 3 months, you're still owing us 2 months dues.
Okay, but
Yes, that's like, for
gone
example, of my plan.
Yeah, thank you very much. You've gone past the allotted time, but it's okay. Let's try to keep to the timing to make sure we all, everybody has the same time and we get out of here quickly. Kingsley, Chidi asked a question. How do you plan to achieve financial independence? What is your financial plan?
I think he asked Buchi, but I can still answer that, right?
Yeah, I think he asked you.
He asked me.
Yeah,
It
it was for
me.
Buchi, but Kingsley, you can take a shot.
Okay. I apologize.
Okay. Financial plan. I think what we're doing good. Asking people to pay a registration means ownership. Asking you to pay registration means ownership. So what we need to do is to make people understand the need, the younger ones understand the need for actually contribute financially, like financial awareness. It's not going to take you too much. We need to educate them, financial awareness. If you're into a club, you have to do financial awareness. Know that from time to time, we're going to need your little money to just support what you believe in. It's not a crime. So for the monthly levy, I don't think I can go with the monthly levy thing, because the monthly levy is going to scare people away. When they find out that they have been owing the first month and it's going to the second month, and they're going to come with a whole lot of baggages and trouble. So I want to go with the one-time payment. But the one-time payment, if you want to make it instrumentally, probably 2 times, I will agree with it, because everybody pocket is not the same thing. So for the fact that we want to have fun, we can't just make people come and bear grudges while they are paying. No, just come and have fun and support. While you're supporting, have fun. So I don't want to do a monthly charges, because first and foremost, we are just a football team. We want to have fun. We want to stay away from work, stay away from family, stay away from work trouble, and come have fun like young men and exercise at the same time. So putting a monthly fee is going to deprive people from actually coming to play this football, which is the main thing we're actually buying for.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I have to respond to that, because that's a direct response to what I said. No, hold on. If he responds to something I said, I have to respond.
Hey, Buchi, I'm the moderator. Hold on. I'm not saying you're not going to respond. If you remember, I did give you a chance for rebuttal.
Yes.
I just want to let you know, for you to respond, you have 30 seconds.
That's fine.
Okay.
I did not say the amount I am planning to present. I haven't said anything about the amount it will be. So we do not know how if it's going to be a burden. There are teams we look up to in Houston. There are teams that have been here since 80-something. For example, Green Eagles of Houston. You can't walk into Green Eagles of Houston, even whether you're a registered member or not, every weekend without paying. Every time you come to play, you have to pay. A team needs maintenance. Water costs a lot. Invincible Eagles does not have a football. We don't have a good football, ball that you kick that we need to train with. and we are talking about burden. If we are
Okay.
a football team and we don't have a ball, what are we doing?
Okay,
We need
Buchi,
money.
Buchi,
We
your
have to
time-
raise it.
your
Thank
time
you.
is up. Your time is up.
Nemi, can I put in 10 seconds?
Hold on. Can you guys hold on one second? Okay. Kingsley, this is gonna be 20 seconds, real quick. We have to move on. I know you want to respond, but 20
Yeah.
seconds.
We know the team needs football. That was why the registration is for there. You got to, as a president, I will map out money for material that we need for football. Nobody's going to touch it. So when we lack anything about the football and the materials for football, we're going to dip our hand into that money that people register for. We're going to map it out. We're not going to touch it for any other thing. It's for the materials for the football. So in order to raise other funds, we can be taxing ourselves such like late coming, little money for late coming is going to improve the team to come quickly and let's play this game. Just little money, not too much. When I mean little money, I mean little money. So
Thank
when
you
you
very much.
times those money, it's going to give us a whole lot of money.
Thank you, Kingsley. I'm going to go to some of the questions I received. Buchi, I received a question for you, and
Okay.
you have timing, as I said. Please, let's keep the time, please.
Okay.
You're going to have 2 minutes. The question I have is from one of Invincible Eagles members. It says that we have seen you in past occasions, altercations on the field, where you've had altercations on the field. How are we gonna be sure that if we elect you as president, with all these previous altercations, you could be able to control yourself and have that demeanor? 2 minutes.
I am what is called a gas fire. That's the kind of anger I sometimes have. It burns quick, it's gone. However, I have had this experience of learning myself as I grow and learning to control some of that. There's nothing that annoys me like injustice. There's nothing that annoys me like bullying and some kind of stuff. And I also used to have a very, very low tolerance for nonsense. I had to learn to change. I had to learn to become more patient with people. And so I would say in the past few years, I've become better. I do not believe that I am necessarily someone that gets into altercations that often. However, I do not like people coming. If you watch the history very well, you will notice that some of those altercations I get to are when people are trying to take Invincible Eagles for a ride. Many times I've gone into those altercations in defense of the team, not in defense of myself. I don't have an oversized ego that, you can't insult me and walk away. I wouldn't even, I'm not bothered. I don't bother about that kind of stuff. But if I'm in training and someone comes and starts insulting coach or starts misbehaving or starts doing something that I feel is coming to insult the team, I tend to take it personally, especially when the team seems not to take that part seriously. So sometimes I go, who are you and who do you think you can come and, try and talk to a lot of people like this or try and treat us like this. So that's what I believe has happened in the past. However, I've learned from it and I've grown. I believe I have grown and I've shown a very steady head for a while now. But like I said, go back and look at it carefully. You will notice that most of those altercations occur because of people that were trying to misbehave with Invincible Eagles. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Buchi. And for Kingsley, I have a question from you from one of our teammates. The question is, it ties on to discipline. If elected as President Kingsley, what would you bring for discipline to the team?
Okay, if elected as president, I think football commands respect. And if we don't respect ourselves, we're not going to have a good game. We're going to start from within the house. So discipline means when somebody insult the entire team, you're bound to face the consequences because you insulted yourself first before insulting us. Because we came out as a team we're going to suffer together as a team, and we're going to excel as a team. So if an individual wanted to go against the Constitution will speak. It has penalties for the person. So as a president, I will enforce it. Even though you're my friend or not, I'm going to enforce it, because nobody is above the law, so that other people will learn from everybody's mistake. So I always talked about late coming. Over the time we have been coming late, it's not as if we can come quickly or early. It's just because there's nothing has been done towards it. So this is what I'm going to do. We're going to place a penalty for late coming. I'm so sorry, but we're going to do it. As a president, we have to do it. If we want to actually come and play football so early and enjoy it, we have to place a penalty for late coming. And just simple money you're going to pay. But when you start paying it, you're going to find out that you're giving us your money every Saturday for late coming. So that's going to gear you up to come early, and let's enjoy this game. And let's be serious in what we're doing, and let's exercise so that we can be healthy for ourselves and be healthy for our family. So that's what I think should be done.
Thank you. So we're going to take some more questions. I think Ikenna, you had your hand up first. After Ikenna, we're going to go to Chris, then Speedy, and we have Chris and Ogadebo, and that will wrap it up. So real quick, Ikenna, I think you had your hand first. You could go for a question.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me? Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, but my question is just real straightforward. I was thinking, would it be a good idea if anyone would support if we go for maybe local tournaments first, or statewide tournaments before actually extending it to out of state, or a more grand type of tournament engagement. So just wanted to know if it's something you guys would support as a leader, as a president. So
thank you very much, Ikenna. The next question is for Speedy. Speedy, you got the floor. And contestants, before Speedy, hold on. I'm going to be straight. You have 1 minute to answer these questions real quick. Once it's 1 minute, I'm going to cut it off, please. So make sure, I'll read the questions to you. It's formulated in 1 minute. Speedy, you have the floor.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I know maybe some people don't know the Speedy talking, but this is Jemba.
Jemba.
Yes. Kingsley, I'm happy to see you. Nimi, I'm happy to see you guys. For those that cameras are on. Buchi, I'm happy to see you. And it's a pleasure for me to be in your midst to share an idea and an opportunity for me to be this evening and be in this midst to also have something to share. I know it's been long. I haven't been on this platform. I know I will not take all your time. I'll just go straight to the point. Yeah, the question which I'm about to ask, even though my brother had asked, that's Zuit. I think he had asked my question, which I was always putting my hand down, but it wasn't well answered though. I think that was his second question, Nimi. I did not really get it clearly. Maybe I don't know. The second question he asked, Nimi.
Yeah,
the second question Ziwit asked
about diversity and
yeah.
getting players, making sure we are retaining young players.
Yes, yeah. I think I did not. They spoke, but I did not really. I didn't understand what they were saying. I think I understood what Buchi was trying to say. Kingsley, I was really lost.
Okay, so this is for Kingsley, right? This is for Kingsley, right?
Yes.
Oh, Kehinde Ajayi, please mute your phone, Kehinde.
Yeah.
Kehinde, please mute your phone. We can hear the background noise. Okay. Speedy, thank you very much. People are asking, we're running out. Please just, let's make it quick, sharp. Chris, you have the floor. Chris.
Yeah, hello everyone.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi. My question is straightforward. It's all about our training. Our training is becoming so boring. And I've not heard any one of these guys talking about our training. What plan do they have for the training section? Our training has turned to monkey pose. I've never seen us playing monkey pose for a while. And we have been playing monkey pose for like how many Saturdays now? I think maybe 8 Saturdays straight. So the second question is about a coaching crew. Do you guys have any idea or anything you want to change in our coaching crew, how they manage player? That's my question.
And to be clear with you, Chris, you're sending these questions for the both candidates, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay, thank you very much, Chris. Bros Debo, you have the floor. I'll be coming to you, BB. But Bros Debo, you have the floor. Go ahead.
Nimi, excuse me. Sorry. If we're going to answer all these questions in 1 minute, is it not better to just answer 2 or 3 questions at a go instead of lining up all the questions? Because then
No.
we would down. We can get lost.
No, I got the questions. You got 2 more to go, so we just make it out, and that's gonna be, you have your time. I'm writing all the questions down.
Okay.
So I'll repeat it. You don't need to write it down. Don't write it
Okay.
down. I'll repeat it to you. So that's why I'm taking notes. Just try to stay formulated, and that's why you're a leader. You have to think outside the box. Straight up talk. So let's Bros Debo, Coach Debo, you have the floor.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. My questions goes to both candidates. And football is not wrong. I mean, I'm talking about financing right now, because the way both candidates address financing, if we go by that, we might not grow very well as football. I mean, football is run by organization, businesses, great contributors, and it's not by tasking ourselves little here, little here. It could go a long way, but it's not going to take us to that edge. And the fact that the 2 candidates should tell us how they can dig deep and bring financing, refinancing into the club, so that we'll be able to use for competitions, because competitions are not cheap. I mean, 2 of them knew, and some of us in the team knew that when the competition is going on, it costs more. It must start a little bit, but as we proceed, it grows bigger. So how do you, as a president, bring financing?
Thank you very much.
Bring corporate bodies to lift us.
Thank you very much, Coach Debo. I think I have your question. The next person is, I have another Chris that raised his hand again. I don't see him here, but it's all good. BB, BB, you have the floor. BB.
Tunde.
BB.
Sorry, guys. Good evening, guys.
Go
Can
ahead.
you guys hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
So this is a great discussion session, and I want to applaud both contestants. But on my own question is not more like a question, because one of you is going to be my boss, right? So what Brother Boss said was something I wanted to ask the question. I don't know. I think the question just came right from his mouth, and it's about finance, right? And moving forward, we've seen all the challenges we've been having in past experience, and also handling our players. When I say handling players, I mean by special players that we have, right? It's a lot of expenses. And I have, being the vice president, I already have my own manifesto too as well, but I guess I'm going to be working under a president, and I'll probably have to contribute enough. So, but my own contribution is going to be, I want us to look into how can we grow the organization based on the fact that we cannot tax our players all the time, right? So what else can we do? And one of the things that I want to share with my, who is going to be the president, is something that I want to keep for myself right now, but it's something that I'm going to share with whoever becomes a president. But I want you guys to look, like Brother Debo said, that question wasn't answered very well. I don't think that is going to take us anywhere. I want you guys to think deep and see if we can, improve in terms of finance. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Thank you very much, BB. So BB, with your question, we're going to tie it off with what Bruce Debo already said. Spider, you have the floor. Go ahead, Spider. And after Spider, we're going to take Murphy, and we're going to end it at that point. Spider, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I hope everyone can hear me.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So I have a question for both aspirants. So when you guys spoke about extra football activities, what are we speaking on? Like, what is the scope of this football activities? Is it just end of the year party, or is it meetups or hangouts or olachi, or this is something important, because it might seem like it's a joke now, but the honest truth is this is the thing that keep the ball rolling in a team, because without these team building activities, we cannot move forward. This is the reason why I believe sometimes we end up playing monkey post, because some people feel like they are being marginalized from the other guys, because some guys invite some particular people, as some other people know they invited. So they feel like they're outsiders in a team that involves everybody. We're all supposed to be pulling in the same direction. So what do we mean by these extracurricular activities? This question goes to both sides. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Spider. So your question, for understand, people are feeling marginalized. What do they mean by extracurricular activities, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So Murphy, you have the last question. Murphy, go ahead. The floor is yours.
Good evening, everybody. My questions is going to be two parts. And one part is going to be going back to what Z and Speedy talked about. And he mentioned the word unity. Whenever you want to answer the second question, please add the unity, because I will tell you why. How do you keep people that are not Nigerian, people that are not Yoruba, people that are not Igbo, people that are not all these cultural differences? How do you keep everybody as one? And I'll give you guys an example. We have a situation whereby some players believe you are treating some players special or better than the other. What goes out is how they start all getting pissed off for nothing. How do you make this transparent and make everybody feel at home? That's the second part of the question for Z that I want you guys to touch on. My question is for both of you guys, and it all has to do with well, I'm going to just say it because it's a tough one. Now, when you guys discuss the issue of coaches, I want you guys to talk about you when you become a president, and it's all about not being above the law. If you mess up as a president, because the law applies to you, what will you do to punish yourself, or to I won't say the word punish, but to answer to your own, whatever you do wrong? That's one part, because we've seen situations whereby leaders are not performing as leaders, and they just, because they are leader, they just keep it and let it go. That's one part. Then as for the coaches, what do you guys have for us in terms of we know our attacks, but, just like Chris mentioned, what do you guys have in terms of what do we do as training? Are we doing 2 trainings in a week and all of that? So that's what I want you guys to touch base on. That's it.
Thank you very much, Murphy. This shows a lot. So many players, so many teammates want to know what's going on. So quickly, Buchi and Kingsley, as I said, so many questions. We have to tackle them. I'll read the questions for you. Please, you have a minute real quick to get this over with so we could get out of here on time. The first question from Lagos Boy to both candidates is, what is your thoughts about playing local tournaments first? We play local tournaments before going out of state to go play tournaments. What are your thoughts, Kingsley? Kingsley, if you could start.
Yeah, let me quickly run it faster. Invincible Eagles, we have been doing the same thing. We've been playing SLM before we went to national. So we're still going to continue. But what I'm going to add is I want to seek for, look for a Mexican league where we can have more wider coverage and more financial input into the team. Because I heard that for the survey I made personally, I found out that the Mexican league brings more money to the team, and it also exposes us to other players and other culture and lifestyle. So while we were doing that, we're still going to go for national. The same thing we were doing. We're just adding a league to what we are doing. So like I said earlier, what brought us together from the first thing instantly was football, and we can't take that away. We can't just take it away. Thank you.
Okay. In the last meeting we had, when we came back from, I think it was when we came back from Austin or before we went to Austin. I can't remember exactly because it's now murky. I believe we spoke about going to the Mexican League. We decided we were not going to go to the SLN League. I was surprised to hear that we got registered in the SLN in January again. The problem with the Mexican League that we were planning to go to is that it's played on Sunday. We are used to playing on Saturday. That is the issue with going to the Mexican League. But we had all agreed and we're open to going to another league. We believe that the Mexican League gives us about $8,000 for winning. If we win it, we get money. So that was what we were all talking about when around October. That's a major decision, playing on Sundays. It's something we have to sit down and talk more about if we can plan the logistics if we are going to play on Sunday. Instead, we have to find another league, Mexican league that pays money, that plays on Saturday. But it's the same answer. We're going to play local leagues. There's no difference between my opponent and I here. I don't think there's any difference in what has been happening in the past. We're going to play local leagues. We cannot stop playing football. Regarding going to outside tournaments, I'll still insist on what I'm saying. We have to have a plan. I sat down and looked at logistics for going to Austin. I know what it cost us to go to Atlanta. I was talking to teams that came from far away to Texas, and I spoke to teams when we were in Austin because I tend to mix around a little bit when I travel. Some teams had to spend about $20-something, $30,000 to get there. So it's a major undertaking. So we need to plan for it to be able to go. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Buchi. Thank you very much. Second question, it's for you, Kingsley, from Speedy, retaining young players. That was what Z asked, and Speedy wanted more clarification for he didn't get your point in terms of retaining young players.
Yeah, okay, Speedy was asking National, like from being another country and you are playing with the Nigerian people. Let me just be clear. Let me be clear about this. Let me start with this. We are in America. We are Africa in America. So in every white man's eye, in every Black American eye, they see us as Africa. I don't know if you're Nigeria or you're Togo or you're Cameroon, but we divide ourselves by calling ourselves name, Cameroon, Ghana, Guinea. But as far as you're in America, a Black man is an African. So let's leave that aside. So coming into Invincible Eagles, I don't want it to be like it's a Nigerian club. No, it is not a Nigerian club. It is our club. It is the African club. BU Cameroon, BU Ghana, we are one in the eyes of American. And I want us to establish that. BU Sierra Leone, we are one in the American soil. So let's use that as a goal. So I don't want us to say, oh, I'm from Sierra Leone and I'm playing with Nigeria. No, just say I'm Africa and I'm playing with my African team. But it's being run by Nigeria and I like it, So let's leave the cultural things aside for a little bit because football is one language. So for Speedy, come in, just know that you are Africa and we are Africans. We can't be different. We are from one continent coming into this place and football bringing us together. We have to quash the whole country name and answer one name, African boys. Then within us, in our inner circle, we know that we are Cameroon, we are Nigeria, but we don't need to make it out like that. So for retaining young players, if we don't participate in competition, if we don't play local leagues, if we don't win, we can't attract anybody. That's it. You can't be selling something and nobody is testing it. They're not going to buy. We have to play. So once this young talent comes in, like I said before, they're going to come if we are winning. Once they comes in, we now know, we try to meet them on their personal needs. They all have issues. They all have needs. We got to meet them on their personal needs. And this is going to improve them and make them come closer more and more. And they will bring more people because they have seen the light and they're going to tell the story. It's like a testimony.
Thank you very much.
This answers the first part of Murphy's question as well. The thing about you have to celebrate diversity, but at the same time, you have to actually also acknowledge that people are different. We can't have a team of dominant Nigerians and dominantly Nigerians, and then a few people from Francophone Africa come in and not feel a type of way. But it doesn't matter if the same Francophone boys went to play with a team full of Kenyan boys, they would feel somehow. The main question is how many of the Francophone boys or the Liberian boys in our team feel that they have been treated differently because they're specifically Francophone or Liberian. There will be very few cases where that is the case. I believe Invincible Eagle has welcomed and treated people well. The first person we donated money for, I'm trying to buy a car for, I don't want to mention his name because, just for personal reasons, but was a Francophone boy. It was a kid we treated like our son. From the first moment he came to the team, we all embraced it. So we've always had that culture of embracing people who are part of us. But what I have to point out is that loyalty is not something that you get overnight. You don't just come in and because you are a special player, we treat you like a king. You have to prove to us that you're dedicated. You have to show us that you're loyal. You have to buy our trust. If we see that you are worth investing in, we will invest in you. Instead, we'll just be investing in people that will come and take us for the make and run away.
Thank you very much.
That's what I feel about, diversity and all of that. Thank you.
Okay. Buchi, you start with this one. Chris saying training, he has observed that training has become so boring based on what he's doing for the past 8 weeks, I believe. What plan do you have of training session? Monkey pose has become the order of the day. Any idea on the coaching crew?
Is Chris saying that training has been boring because he has been losing? Because training has been fun in the past 2 months. I think the problem is not that we're playing monkey pose. The problem is that there's not enough people coming to the team. But the monkey pose has been competitive. Professionals play monkey pose. Professionals play rondo. You play a small area. It teaches you ball control. So that's not a problem. It keeps you fit. There's a lot of running going on. The problem is that because we don't have a competition going on, some of our younger players have gone back to school or back to work. They don't see so much of a reason to come out now because they got to chase their lives. A lot of players too, going to Austin was heavy. This is not the first time this has happened. We go to tournaments sometimes. When we went to Dallas and came back, for a while, people were not coming to training. As a matter of fact, the only reason people came back the next week was because we had to play SLN final. After SLN final, training reduced for a while. So it usually happens like this. By the time the festivities finish and then we register for competition, we start telling people, oh, we're going to play matches. Players will start coming. And then, of course, we'll start talking to some of the players we met recently in Austin and other places to start coming around. But for now, I'm not too bothered about, people not coming, because there are a lot of people that have been traveling. A lot of people have been, trying to handle a lot of stuff that's been going on away. But we've had 24, 25 people coming for the past 3-4 weeks, and it's been competitive in my eye. Regarding coaching, even though at a point I served as a coach in this team, if I become president, I am not going to be a coach. I will not interfere with coaching. My only interference or anything to do with coaching has to be with supplying what coaches need to train and maintaining discipline. I will not be involved in picking players. We have elected 3 coaches. That will be their prerogative. Fortunately, I will be the first non-playing coach, president, if I win. The same thing happens with my opponent, because he wouldn't be playing as well, as he's officially retired from playing competition. So what that means is that it won't be a case of trying to say I'm the president, I have to play, or trying to substitute players into games and all of that. So the coaches need, what I would do is I would empower them to go and develop good training, go and look for players and develop these players themselves.
Okay. Thank you
It
very
is their
much.
responsibility as coaches. My
Thank you very much.
responsibility as president is to manage the overall structure of the team. Thank you.
Thank you. Kingsley, same question to you. If you want me to repeat.
No, the training. If you watch, I think Invincible Eagles started late 2017 to early 2018. So if you watch, by this period, September, October, November, December, the training declined. We know that the people activities decline because people wants to work and make money and enjoy Christmas and send money home. We understand that. But for the fact that what really hit us was we didn't continue with the SLM, okay? It happens, this is the second time we are witnessing this thing. So when we don't participate in this SLM during this period, the training is going to come down. But no bother about that, because if you watch 2018, 2019, 2020, 21, 22, it's happening again. By November, December, we always play monkey post. And by January, after the whole activities has gone, we kick off. So Chris, don't be perplexed, don't be disturbed with that. We're gonna come back. But training is not all about playing big posts. As a footballer, training doesn't mean you must play the full 11. Training, you can play monkey post and you can train very well. You can play monkey post and you can play tactics. You can play instructions. You can do something with the monkey post. That is actual training. But I know Chris is talking about bringing people in, but if I'm the president, I wouldn't want this thing to happen again, because when it comes to by this time, which we know that it declines the training, I will have to make sure we're playing competition. So while we're playing competition by this time, people are going to come for training. We can't just let it shallow like this. We've got to play competition till the end of the year so that the training can still be competitive. So for the coaching aspect, my experience in football, the coach is the chairman of the field. So the president deals with the administrative effect of the team. I have no business being a coach. I don't want to be a coach. Let me do the work of the president. Help them organize and set things in place, and the coaches do their coaching. So everybody will be empowered to do their job. So when you leave the coaches to their job and support them, don't interfere with the coach's ability. Don't interfere in their decision-making. Let them do it. So when they didn't do well, they can take the blame as a coach and go back into the drawing board and fix it. So as a president, when you interfere with a coach, you're conflicting, you're disturbing everybody. So as a president, I'm not going to do the coaching interference. And Buchi, mind you, I'm not actually retired. I retired from international level, but not on the local level.
Thank you very much. The next question is from Coach. Quickly, this is going to be really time, 2 minutes. Two of you should tell us, in terms of real finances, how do you source of funds? How do you get corporate bodies into Invincible Eagles? We've seen the task of funding all of this tournament. It will require money. What is your financial ideology? What is your financial capacity? What are you thinking outside the box with in terms of finances? Buchi, if you want to go ahead.
Okay. If you look at my 7-point agenda, number 2 point was change the financial structure of the team to improve financial stability. Then the number 5 point was complete the registration of the team with the state as a charity. Why the number 5 actually raising that is because if we were not a fully registered charity, some teams will struggle to sponsor us. But to be a fully registered charity, we also have to be willing to do charity work. We have to do it. So we will need to do football clinics and other charity stuff, do volunteering and all of that. And this will help us. When we have improved profile, when we can go out and show pictures or this is what we do, teams will sponsor us, people will sponsor us, organizations will be willing to sponsor us because we have a good name. And when you contribute to a community, in my experience in life, when you contribute positively to a community, the community is always willing to support you. Changing the financial structure of the team will work on sponsorship. Since I came back from Austin, I've been working with one of the members of the team. He's been trying to see what he can do about getting us registered as a charity, and I will do my best to get this done as soon as possible. And immediately that is done, the next step is to chase sponsors. I will chase down, I will knock on doors. The guy that disappointed me in 2022 who was supposed to sponsor us, I will go back and knock his door down. This time around, he's giving us money, and he's giving us double for the one he didn't give us in 2022 and the one he's supposed to give us in 2023. That is going to be my main goal. Like I said, I am glad I'll have a vice president because the vice president will do a lot of work that the former presidents used to do. It will be a lot of delegation of duties so that we can focus on some parts. So financially, there are enough African doctors with businesses, estate agents, realtors, and all of that, that I will knock down their doors and get them to sponsor this team. That's my plan.
Thank you. Kingsley, same question for you.
Yeah, when you talk about financial sponsorship, if we are not playing, and this is how it works, when we have a competition and you have somebody that loves football and you've been trying to talk to the person to come sponsor you, you have to convince him to come watch your game. You have to convince him to come watch your game, because I have a whole lot of people that they want to donate, but they want to see us actually play. If we say we are good, they want to know if we are winning something. If we say we are winning, they want to see for their eyes. So I believe in America here, individual sponsorship runs faster than a company sponsorship. Like we have some Nigerian guys that have this money, but I've been talking to a lot of them. So they want to see you like, hey, where do you play? Where do you train? What competition are you into? Who are your players? Have you ever won any medal? So you got to show them this thing, and you got to tell them the time and date. Most of them are free. They can come around and say, okay, what can you do for us? So for those that are engaged in business sponsorship, like we did the previous time, printing of the jersey, putting their name on it. We can't just put our name, your name on our jersey for giving us just 1,000. No. I can bring 1,000, which each and every one of us can. Some of us can bring $1,000. That is an insult. If your name needs to be on our jersey, it must be substantial amount, for real, because we are advertising for you. We got to make you understand that we are selling you. You got to help us financially, and it's got to be on a contract level. After this year, this is what you're bringing in. So they will know we are doing them a favor, not them doing us a favor. Because we say, hey, we are playing in this competition, we are playing in this competition, we are playing this competition. These are activities. And when we are playing, we are wearing this jersey. Your company is going places. Your company names is being shown that you are sponsoring us. And there's nothing bad in putting two companies on your jersey, one on the front, one at the back. They do it in football. One by the side. If there are three companies that want to sponsor us, we're going to give them the idea, oh, one by the side, one by the front, one by the back. That is it. Just make the jersey unique. So we sell for you, you help us financially. That's how it works.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Sorry, I was on mute. The next question, I believe, is from Spider. The question is, when you speak about extra football activities, is it an end of year party you're talking about? Is it all lachi, going to go and eat in all lachi? He said team building is very, very important. And from his observation, people feel marginalized. Some people are inviting some set of people to their houses for something. They're not inviting this set of people. There is friction. There's not togetherness. What do you mean by extra activities? Kingsley, this question will go to you first. Buchi, you can answer. 2 minutes, please.
Okay, I never said extracurricular activities. I said playing football, because I know football is also extracurricular activities. So this is how it works, to my experience. When people come together to play football, they bond, they make friendship. So from the friendship, they have fun. So if somebody, why this happened was that we are having issues from Atlanta. That was why there was a friction in the team. So if there is no friction, believe you me, everybody is going to attend everybody's party. All right, that's how I see it. But because a problem arises, so we are now putting our foot on that problem, and we have long passed that stage. Believe you me, Atlanta has come and gone. We've long passed that stage. Right now, what I'm bringing in is unity. I'm going to carry everybody along. I've always been doing that. I'm going to take everybody along. While we're playing this football, you're going to make friends with whoever you're going to make friends with. I can't stop you from making friends with anybody, but I'm going to bring peace to the club. I'm going to bring friendship. I'm going to bring fun to the club. If anybody is having issue with anybody, trust me, I will resolve it before it goes out to the entire team. I will resolve it. I will make it as a personal goal to resolve conflict before it spreads out. That is what I'm going to do. Because when conflict is not fully resolved and it spreads out, people are going to align to their friends and fight the other person. That is bringing division to the entire team. So my point is, as a president, I will not allow conflict to see the next day. Thank you.
Buchi, same question.
Okay, yeah, I was the one that mentioned extra football activities. So I was the one that talked about it. You cannot force social cohesion. You can try and engender it. You can try and help people by giving them more opportunities to mix. You can't tell someone who wants to have a party and decides to invite the few people he feels is close to and doesn't invite everybody else. It's their prerogative. It's their choice. You can't really do anything about that. But if you want to create more opportunities for people to meet, you have to give them some incentives. Football is great. Football is great, but not everybody plays that football. Not everybody is going to be able to come every Saturday. Some people might be walking down on Saturdays. But I also want to tap into a few things. You see, the people he was talking about, some people go to all archery and that. All archery is for the people that come to training and they decide to go and eat. Not everybody goes to do that. If I become president of Invincible Eagle, I will institute the President's Cup. I will put a prize on it. The President's Cup will be a snooker competition, a snooker league that will go on for about 3 months. At least once a month, we'll meet, we'll hang out, we'll play pool, we'll keep scores. Whoever wins at the end of the month will win a cash prize that will be sponsored by my humble self. If people are also interested, I will institute maybe a table tennis competition as well, so that we have other opportunities where we can banter and have fun in a relaxed atmosphere. Sometimes the football atmosphere is so short because we come and we train and we don't have time to chat and we all leave. But in a social environment where we're playing pool together for about 3, 4, 5 hours, we will have time, we'll sit down, we'll talk, we relax, we will laugh at each other. It won't necessarily be about winning the competition. It'll be more about participating, because people that participate will get participation points. So if you come and win one game, you're not going to win more points than somebody that lost 5 games. But this is part of my plan. We will meet, we'll play pool once a month, we'll go do go-karting together, we'll go do paintballing, we'll have family activities where we can all go out together, maybe for a picnic and that kind of stuff. These are the kind of extra football and social activities that I'm talking about.
I think you answered it. The
Yes.
last question is from Murphy. He asked, when you're the president, this question is for 2 of you. He has seen, we have witnessed where presidents feel they are above the law. They do things as president, take actions. What would you do to punish yourself if you go above the law? And the second thing is, what do you have for the coaches and the trainings? Buchi, if you want to start.
Okay. I think I spoke a little bit about the coaching, so I'm going to talk about that quickly. I will not be involved in coaching. I will not be involved in player selection. That is the promise I will make the team. The only time I will be involved is if there's a friction between player, or player feels that he's not being treated well and he doesn't feel he can approach the coach. I will talk to the player and listen to him and try and give his view to the coach and see if the coach is accommodating. But I cannot impose on the coach. I cannot. I think the coach has to take his decisions and live and die by them. If coaches don't do well, I think the team will fire them. It's just a simple truth. So the coach has to inspire the confidence and he has to choose his best players. What I would do is try and create a great environment where the coaches feel confident enough to do their job and players are happy to come. Make sure that there's welfare money so that there's water and the stuff that they need every week. That is regarding coaches. Now, being above the law, it's actually a very good thing that there are more ESCO positions. I believe in check and balances, and there's already the check of the people who elected me. Now there's also the check and balance that's coming from the ESCO. With a vice president, that means if I mess up as the president, I would not be indispensable. I can be suspended. And the vice president takes my role during my suspension. That also makes me more careful and wiser. What we might have had in the past was where people were afraid to tackle that, because if the president was removed, was suspended, what happens? So, or if the president flouts the law, how do you punish him when he's the de facto main ESCO member? So this will change. If the president messes up, the vice president and the ESCO can meet and punish him.
Okay,
That
Buchi.
is the good thing about that.
Okay, Kingsley, same question. Do you want me to repeat it? Or
Yeah. No, I think the structure is going in the right direction. Having a president and a vice president and a captain and an assistant captain, the welfare, those are the executive ruling council. So this is like what you said, is check and balance it. We are afraid of suspending the president before because there's nobody to step in. But right now it's easy. If the president screw up, he's going on suspension. The vice president step up. If the coach screwed up, we have 3 coaches. When the coach misbehaves, the next in line takes his office. So I think we are doing a great job, okay? I'm not going to interfere in the coaching job. There are 3 already. Let them deal with it. So if they can't give us good results, then the entire team comes down and rain heavily on them. It's not going to be me, because I just have to provide the whole logistic for the coaches to run. So there are 3 of them. If the first head coach didn't do well, so he knows that he's going to be suspended if he goes above the law. If the president as well goes above the law, the vice president is there. I think the team is taken into a good shape right now. So nobody is above the law right now. So we are quick to suspend anybody because we are not going to be stranded, because we have people online waiting already, doing the job already as a vice president. Even the welfare doing his job, he can even carry on as a vice president when the vice president is not there to carry on with the president. So I think we have this whole structure being laid out for the team. It's a wonderful opportunity. Thank you.
Hey, thank you very much. I think we've come in. I think, Leah, your question was already answered by both presidents, if and both presidential candidates. If the coaching crew is not doing well, you have a second coach and you have a third coach. So there's not just one coach right now on the team. Do I speak your mind, Buchi and Kingsley?
That's right. That's right.
So to close it out, we'll have one last question, and you guys will give us your closing remarks real quick. The last question, Kingsley, you start first. Why do you think Buchi will be a good president? You think Buchi will be a good president for Invincible Eagles?
Oh, do I think?
Yeah, he would be a good president for Invincible Eagles.
Yeah. Buchi can be a good president because he has worked with he works with Chima as a welfare, and he knew about Invincible Eagles. He has gone with us to the competition, see how we suffer. So he knew everything about the whole financial contribution. He knew everything about the force behind the team. So he has been a very good executive. So he had the experience of doing a great job, and he knows the players personally. It's not always, but he's not playing the football, but he is involved in the football. So he can be a good leader with proper check and balancing.
Buchi, why do you think Kingsley will be a good president?
I believe Kingsley will be a good president because he's been here from the beginning. He's an old member. He's now a father of the team. And he's been involved in a lot of things in the background, like he says. A lot of them I've witnessed. We've had a lot of times when we've had to settle trouble. And I always remember one thing Kingsley would say, don't bring your personal problem and come and put it in Invincible Eagle and say it's Invincible Eagle that's causing the problem. So that for me shows a sign of somebody that, likes the team. And I've always believed he likes the team. He has shown that. He's been available. And I think that for that reason, he'll make a good president. Yes.
So finally, candidates, you guys have spoken to the team. The team, you heard your candidates. Buchi, 1 minute, closing remarks. Why should Invincible Eagles, why should you be the next president of Invincible Eagles? Give us your closing remarks in 1 minute, 30 seconds.
Invincible Eagle members, it's been an honor to be a PRO and welfare officer for the past 2 years. Actually, we started serving as welfare officer when Sahid, the former welfare officer, had to leave before I got elected. I've been coming for some health reasons in the past. I couldn't play, so I never got to play. And I retired from playing active football when I realized that these young boys are going to keep leaving me behind. So that's why I never played football. But I still play football on Sundays. Now, I have served you guys, and my time in service is very clear. You can see that I love the team. You can see I have the team's heart in my heart, and you can see that I will do my best in everything, in every way that I can to help the team. I will take the insults. It will fall off my skin. I will do my job. I have that drive. I have that zeal. I have the will. nobody stops me. And when I mean nobody, is the naysayers and that, no, they don't stop me. The negative talk does not stop me. If I listened to negative talk, I would have left this team. I've been called the water boy. I've been called everything. But this is the truth. It's been good to serve you. It's been a joy. I love this team. I love the guys. You people have contributed massively to my life. And I want to continue contributing to each and every one of you. And I believe that I'm the best man and that my plan for this team is for the next 2 years will be great. It will move this team forward. Thank you. And I hope to see you guys on Saturday. Remember to vote for me. Come early. If you can't make it, contact Nimi, Olumide, and CJ so that you give them good reasons why you can't vote. And make sure you take the B name, Buchi. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Buchi, for that powerful closing remark. Kingsley, you have the floor. 2 minutes. Closing remark. Why should these voters vote you as the president?
Okay, I want you guys to vote me as a president because from the day one, I've always been a strong member of this team. Whenever you look around, front, back, center, you're going to see me. I'm always there. Whenever you close your eyes and open your eyes, I'm right there in Invincible Eagles. Come rain, come sun, come shine. Playing with injuries, playing with a lot of commitment, zeal, to win, and we have been winning. So from day one, I've never left the club. I've never been shaking. I've never been scared about the club progress. I've always been a number one advocate of an Invincible Eagles. I always tell you guys, I put this club first before any other person. The name Invincible Eagles comes first. So I believe if you vote for me, I'm bringing energy, I'm bringing synergy, I'm bringing love, I'm bringing football, I'm bringing unity, I'm bringing future, because I've been right there from the start till today. So nothing can shake me or move me. For as far as Invincible Eagles is still breathing, I am breathing, and I've been a very good follower. And for you to be a good leader, you have to be a good follower. I have been a good follower from day one till today. I'm still following. So that makes me that I'm proud I'm going to be a good leader, because I've known the ups and downs, the bones and crowns, the weakness and the strength of each and every member of this team. I know everybody personally to my own little knowledge, and I can relate to everybody the way they will want me to relate to them. So vote for me and I will bring you good luck. I'll bring you good tidings. I'll bring you good stuff. Okay, and come on Saturday. Let's the vote count. Vote for Kingsley and let's keep this thing going. It's for the future. Invincible Eagles will never stop or end with we all here. It's going to continue. That's my prayer. We're going to continue, but you can't stop. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, team. Thank you very much, candidates. It was a wonderful, wonderful debate. And it has been recorded. I'll stop the recording right now. And on Saturday, please come on time. Voting starts at 8:30. By 9 o'clock, we should be done. By 9 o'clock, we should know the next president of Invincible Eagles. It has been my pleasure hosting this, and thank you. I will stop recording right now. Thank you all.